brick building that I have built. And to be honest here, it's took a long time. And over on the side, I'll show you all this first. I've actually got a garden. I've got a plank station, tanning rack, loom, fuel station. We'll show you what the fuel's for later, but actually the fuel works off of potatoes, which are these bad boys. So once you grow potatoes, you can put them in the fuel still and you can actually produce fuel. Basically start the fire up on that. And one of the other things I have going is not only water production for the plants, but I've got exterior lighting. There's these lamps that never burn out that are in the game that you can put on hooks on the outside of the building. So I've got lighting on the side in my garden, and I'll show you the rest of the place. Let's go in the front door though. Got my tires. That's a little side patio. Front porch is extended. Let's go in the front door. So it's pretty hard. There's not a lot of furniture types. Basically, you can make furniture out of different things. I made all my furniture out of planks. And with that, it's very limited what you can do. It's basically tables and chairs. So I had to reproduce a lot of different things in here. Basically, what I did here was like kind of the campfire thing where you could put stuff on a spit. Over here you've got your plank table, which is you know, looks like this might be a table where you'd sit at and play with some gadgets and stuff. Over here I've got stored all my bricks, excess bricks and clay that I've made used in production of stuff. You make the clay into bricks with the brick station and the furnace. They have to be close together to create them. And typically you can't put a furnace in a house, but I did find a glitch. Well, I found more than one glitch, but I did find a glitch where if you're near stairs, what you can do is kind of like click like this, like you're going up the stairs a little bit, and instead of showing that you can't place it down, it'll flash, very briefly flash blue, and you just click repeatedly like you're trying to place it. And I was able to place things inside the house that's not supposed to be placed inside the house. So I put a lot of furnaces in the house. And I have another door here. We'll go out here in a minute and check that. But then I got a little hobo stove and some wood, things like that in the house. Let's go ahead and start some of this stuff up, just for the heck of it. See what it looks like lit up with some of the fires and furnaces and stuff going. That affects the lighting, as you can tell. So it lights up most of this. Do the same thing with the little campfire up here. Surprisingly enough, you can put campfires in your house. You just can't put certain other things. Looms and things like that I couldn't get to work in the house. I did manage to put a smoker in the house. This is for smoking meat. It's a pretty cool little feature. So I basically have a campfire. I can put stuff over the spit. I can use a hobo stove, or I can put stuff in the meat smoker. And then I've got tons of rations spread around to look like you know, I've just got plenty of food in my little humble abode. Second door to my patio. This direction again was the front, so front door was over to the right, or over to the left as we were facing it. So you can actually you know, come onto the porch or come in the front door or come in the side patio. Furnace out here. Got some coconut stuff I'm working on. Got another hobo stove. And one of the cool things about this is you can kill all kinds of birds, bats, fish, sharks, and get meat from it. So one of the things I'll do is show you. In the meantime, let's maybe make some some shark steaks or something. And whenever you do this, when you skin sharks, you have to get through the raw hide first, which is used to make leather, things like that. That's what I'm putting in my pack. So the first few cuts are always that. Not enough room in inventory. Let's drop that. I want my shark steaks. And then once you've cut all the leather and everything off the shark, it'll disappear. It'll like fall through the map. Go bye-bye. But come in here to our smoker. I'm full on everything, so you can attach the meat. And then there's actually like a little dinner bell sound when it's done if you listen very carefully. It's kind of low unless you turn your game sound way up, but I always have mine low, and you can just hear it. It's like a little chime, dinner bell chime. And this is again that patio that wrapped around the outside of the building by the garden, which had an entrance door. But then that also comes back here, what I call the dock. So what I have here is I got my spear gun. Inside my crates I have a bunch of spear gun arrows, and then I made a yacht of a raft with the sail, motor, and actually to use the sail I actually need to put a rudder on it, which I haven't done yet, and then a fish trap, and you know, some extra gas for the motor, spear gun arrows, flare gun in case I need to be saved. I see any passing planes I'm going to shoot a flare gun at. I don't think there's any way to actually win this game yet. So over here I have a container I built, which is basically where I store all my stuff. And typically I've got on top of the container, I've got some item that indicates kind of what's in the containers for the most part. Got a bunch of spare motor parts, which you would use to build a motor for your boat, or the Gyrocopter. It's actually a little mini helicopter that I built, and I'll show you that in a minute as well. So then the actual dock extends out over the water, and if you drop down you have something that leads out to deeper water where I could fish in deeper water. I have stairs leading down there. You can see the fish down in the water from here in the dark. They're actually probably sharks, but then I have like fishing equipment stuff here again, and then that leads over to the original raft. So I have another section to deploy this raft if I choose to. But all that comes from the upstairs section, which leads into the house on the second floor and then out to the heli-pad. So my mansion has a helipad where I actually have some more fuel and stuff again. So that's the Gyrocopter. Took me a while to figure out how to fly that thing, especially to land it back down safely, because it hovers in the air and it's easy to control, but then when you try to come down, I was turning the motor off before, which usually led me to get pretty hurt in a crash, until I figured out using the crouch button tells the Gyrocopter to fly lower. So then I come up here. This is what I call the lab. The lab has some aircraft engine parts. I've only found 3 of them. I don't know if there's something they're going to implement in the game where you can actually repair an aircraft. That would be pretty dramatic, because I don't know how you would fly it, take off from an island, I don't know, but there's nonetheless, I found 3 different aircraft parts, and haven't figured out exactly what they do yet. When we come up here, I've got just my little setup with flowers and lights and some tables, some more gear, boxes to make it look like I have lots of stuff. If we go this way, it leads into... Oh, there's a squid trophy. So I found 3 bosses, I guess you would say, in the game. One was a giant squid. It's called the Great Abaya or something like that. Which once you kill it, you can create this trophy, which you can also hang on the wall with hooks. Which leads into what I call the master bedroom, which has more. Again, there's giant eel trophy and a giant megalodon, which is a giant great white shark, I guess, that I also killed. They actually fly out of the water and bite you even if you're on a raft and everything else, so pretty crazy. And then up here, you know, I have my, what we'll say is a bed. It shows as a sleeping bag, but it's essentially a bed. And there's my shark meat done. Spear gun, again up here next to my bed, a bunch of spear gun arrows. And then this leads out onto that patio we looked at before where I can go to the heli-pad and take my gyrocopter. Or essentially what I made was like a little shower in here, which again has the ability to, you know, light a fire, heat some water bottles, and take a shower in here in this little brick area with a hobo stove. So island living. And then I guess what we'll say is a spare bedroom in here, again with a door leading around out to the lab and the stairs going down. So that's how it looks. Quite a lot of lights around and lanterns, and then you can actually carry a lantern with you. You can do that, and it provides light as well. And then another thing I was thinking about showing is, let me see if I can find, let me go out to my boat. So this looks pretty cool. Oh my goodness, it's always something. So I thought this looked pretty cool. Little flare guns at night. Flares, it's like fireworks. I get excited about the silliest of things, I know.